Hello, everyone, and welcome to Extreme Life Uncovered, the show where we interview the most extraordinary organisms living in conditions where humans wouldn't dare to enter. Today, we have a very special guest, Annie the halophile, who lives in environments so salty that most life forms wouldn't survive for a second. Annie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's about time us halophiles got some recognition. We've been thriving in salty conditions for billions of years.
Let's get straight to it. Annie, what makes you so extreme compared to the most other life forms?
Great question. I'm called a halophile because I absolutely love salt. My ideal home is in environments like salt flats, hypersaline lakes, and salt mines. For example, you can find my cousins in the Dead Sea or even in the salty pink waters of Lake Retba in Senegal. The salt levels in these places can be 10 times higher than seawater, which would instantly dehydrate most cells. For me, it's paradise.
That's amazing. And these places sound so harsh to us humans. Do you prefer living in these environments, or can you survive elsewhere?
Oh, I definitely prefer my salty homes. In fact, if the salt concentration drops too low, I'll start to struggle. My whole biology is built to handle high salinity. Without it, my systems don't work properly. So while I can tolerate less extreme environments for a short time, it's not really where I thrive.
Fascinating. Let's dive into your biology. What makes you so well equipped to survive in these extremely salt environments?
It all starts with my cell structure. My membranes are incredibly specialized. They're made of unique lipids that help me retain water, even when the salt around me is trying to suck it out. Most cells would shrivel up like a raisin in salt flats, but my membranes act like a barrier, which keeps me very hydrated.
That's incredible. How about the salt itself? Doesn't it interfere with your internal systems?
It would if it didn't have some clever tricks. Instead of trying to keep salt out like most organisms do, I let it in and balance it with the compatible solutes, like potassium ions. This means my proteins and enzymes are specifically designed to work in salty environments. They'd actually stop working in fresh water. It's like my entire cellular machinery has adapted to love salt as much as I do.
Amazing. So, Annie, your ability to thrive in such extreme conditions must tell us something about where life could exist beyond the Earth. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. My existence proves that life can survive and even thrive in places that seem completely inhabitable to humans. For example, Mars has salt deposits and evidence of ancient briny water. If a halophile like me can live in a salty lake on Earth, why couldn't there be similar life on Mars?
That's such an exciting thought. Are there any other places in our solar system that could be home to extremophiles like you?
Definitely. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, and Enceladus, a moon of Saturn. Both have subsurface oceans with blocks of salt. If those oceans also have heat from hydrothermal vents, that's a recipe for life. Maybe even halophiles like me.
Wow, Annie. Your story is not only fascinating, but also incredibly inspiring for those of us searching for life beyond Earth. Before we wrap up, do you have any final words for our listeners?
Just this. Life is so much tougher and more adaptable than most people think. If halophiles like me can thrive in places with extreme heat, pressure, and salt, there's a good chance life exists in other extreme environments across the universe. Keep exploring, you never know what you might find.
Thank you so much, Annie, for joining us today on Extreme Life Uncovered. And thank you for our listeners for tuning in. Until next time, stay curious and keep pushing the boundaries of what we know about life.
Bye, everyone. Stay salty.